Please, ladies and gentlemen, join us as we extend a very warm and a cordial welcome, thanking the Honourable Minister, sir, and to welcome here on stage the Honourable Minister, may I request Mr. Kushan Mitra, the printer and publisher, the pioneer, to please accord a floral welcome to the Honourable Minister. And to further extend a heartfelt gratitude to the Honourable Minister, sir, to felicitate him by presenting the shawl. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats and we straight away move into this fireside chat which we have been waiting. Over to Mr. Kushan Mitra.
Thank you so much, and first a very, very warm welcome to Hardeep Singh Puri ji, who's made time. It's a very stormy session of Parliament right now, and even more stormy in the world of geopolitics. You're a former diplomat. I'm sure you're glad you're not a diplomat anymore, or because of what's going on right now. But let's talk about biofuels. That's why you're here. Firstly, a huge round of congratulations to you and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Ministry, all your PSUs, for achieving the target of 20% ethanol blending 5 years early. In a country where we are used to targets slipping by decades, how do you manage to do this 5 years early?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Thank you.
You referred to events in Parliament and the world. All I can say is that for people like me, it's business as usual. So I'm very happy to be here. The ethanol blending process, you can, if you are a believer in developmental science, developmental economics, I think you must look at what was done before 2014 and what we've been able to do after 2014. I think the desire to go down the biofuels route, that desire was there well before 2014. I recall when I was ambassador to Brazil, the then government of the day in Delhi had already declared that they wanted to see and achieve a target of 5% biofuel blending in 10 of our states and union territories. We tried hard, but failed. I think what was the distinguishing feature in the pre-2014 process, when we ended 2014 with what, 1.53% of blending, and the post-2014 process was that here, led by the Honourable Prime Minister, we looked at it not as just one mission, but you had to build an entire ecosystem to achieve that target. And today, we can look back with the benefit of hindsight. I'm sorry I'm going before the 20% blending target, which we've achieved 5 years in advance. The first target was 10%. And I can share with you some of my anxiety when I was associated with this program, when I got the Petroleum and Natural Gas Ministry, I was assigned to it, that even when it came to the 10% biofuel blending, I used to have some doubts a little, because we had to achieve it by 2022, I think. And I came on board in 2021 and I said, will we be able to do it? Because my own conditioning was in the pre-2014 period. But no, lo and behold, we got that target 5 months in advance. Then we set ourselves a target of 20%. And now I come to where you asked me, we did that 5 years in advance. But I don't think it is just, Kushan, I don't think it's just the achievement of the target. You can sometimes meet your overall goals, but how you do it. I want to draw your attention to 2 or 3 major changes. One is the diversification of the feed. Earlier, going by the Brazilian experience, Brazil is a country 3 times our land area, 1/6 our population, with 22% of the world's freshwater reserves. For them, sugar is not a problem. And Brazil can, with a little bit of effort, they can increase the area under acreage many times. But we have 6 times the population, 1/3 their area. We have to look at ethanol blending, or I'll come to biogas, I'll come to green hydrogen, with a different set of challenges. And I think a lot of people who said that, you have to look at food security, I used to think even then that that was a baloney argument. And now I'm convinced even more. Because in India's case, if you go down the biofuel, who are the beneficiaries? Your farmers, your agricultural sector. What do you save? I'm not just talking about environmental plus points. I'm talking about something else. You save foreign exchange. What did we save? 1,40,000 crores. What did you do? You gave, where did you give the money? You gave 1,20,000 crores or thereabouts to your farmers. And at a time when the rural sector is in, I wouldn't say distress, they were, you used to hear about these challenges, you used to hear about farmers having to face existential. We did a lot of things. Today, and we have a system of giving good news in the cabinet. Today, I mentioned that yesterday or the day before, Corsair, which is the clean air environmental arm of ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, they have certified the use of used cooking oil in the Panipat refinery to make sustainable aviation fuel. We are making ethanol from broken food grain. So I think this is a program which has taken off, and no matter what these entrenched lobbies, I just tell them one thing. I lived in Brazil. The same car manufacturers were operating in Brazil, German, Japanese, the same operating here. Brazil has been on E27 or ethanol mixed in the basic blend up to 27%. Let's stop complaining long back. Yes, the calorific value, the performance of a car may be what, 1% or 2%, maximum 3% less. In the last 5 years, I've never heard of an engine failure. And you've seen these, motivated trolls on social media. They will say that if you put E20, which is available in, God knows, it's come in every petrol pump. We have what, 88,000 pumps in India? E20 is available in every pump, basic feed. In about 400 pumps, we are selling E100 to encourage, it's a chicken and egg story. You make the fuel available, then they make the car for it. The car says, I can't come till the fuel is available. We are going to transfer this. Look, just now we are in a happy situation of having done E20 several years in advance, 5 or 6 years in advance. As we proceed, I am very sure, and we have comfort level with the ecosystem, the feed and everything, we will gradually raise it. What percentage? I'm not a soothsayer. I'm essentially a incrementalist, so we will see how it goes up. But I think the country is yearning for it. Is it more expensive? Arey bhai, suno to sahi. You are using your biomass. You are using that. You save foreign exchange. It's cleaner. But somebody who is so wedded to fossil fuels that you've got any cleaner energy, they try to stop the biofuels and the clean energy. When green hydrogen takes off in a very big way, now we are manufacturing trains, which engines will be powered, train engines with green hydrogen. I already have 15 green hydrogen. They'll start off. Because there are these, I don't want to name the category. Let's say there are people who have a vested interest and then they try to influence as a result of that.
No, we had Mrs. Vibha Dhawan and Mr. Vikram Gulati.
I see her sitting there, yes.
Yes, and in the previous panel, and they mentioned that it was a vile campaign. It was a vilification.
No, either you trust science or you trust, you trust BS. I trust science.
And this news on sustainable aviation fuel is also amazing because this is going to be used cooking as cooking oil. So, from
before I get to use cooking oil and sustainable aviation fuel, look, other than that 2G using agricultural waste, parali, there also, which refinery is it? Numaligarh refinery in the northeast. They are making 2G ethanol from bamboo also.
We had a presentation from Assam Bamboo.
Exactly. So, bamboo is something that is easily replicable. Now, I'm going to take advantage of your hospitality, Kushan. I'm also looking at seaweed in a very big way. If you are familiar with geography and climatic zones, in the Indian waters, and we have a huge coastline, plus we have our offshore assets, the seaweed regrows in what, 6 weeks' time? So if you use seaweed as a basis to produce oil, I mean, this is all, and it's gone beyond the stage of pure experimentation. It's being done. There is a pilot project there. And then I was in, where was I? In Iceland, along with Austria and Norway, and they're big on geothermal energy. And today, I have the very pleasant duty to inform you, in a place in Ladakh at the height of 14,000 feet, ONGC has struck geothermal. They've struck steam. They're going to, electrify villages using that steam, etc. So these are all breakthroughs taking place in the India under transition. So, I mean, when you talk about geopolitics, I mean, I'm not going to be commenting on some of those things, but I can tell you, we have enough availability, we have enough affordability, and the sustainability or transition story with all these things I'm mentioning is particularly good, and I'm so happy you're having this special session on biofuels and that you've had presentations on some of the second generation fuels as well.
Thank you so much for that, sir. This is amazing because our fuel needs as a nation will also go up. So we could
not grow up, they're going up exponentially. I don't know what somebody says about how healthy our economy is. Let me tell you, we're the fastest growing major economy in the world. Even our detractors say that we are growing at 6.5%. Our energy needs are 3 times those. You want to say something?
I said, we are not dead, clearly.
I saw an Amul ad saying that they've taken one of their gold brine mills to Spain. I don't want to repeat it, otherwise, my friends from the Fourth Estate are here. They'll say I made a comment. No, I'm having a good laugh. That's all I'm saying.
So our energy needs will go up. So obviously with that, the blending, the amount, we'll have a full bioenergy ecosystem also grow at the same pace or even faster than that?
No, I'll tell you. See, the global economy is what it is. I'm not going to say. Today we are at a stage where we are the 4th largest economy and we're growing at 6.5%. I don't want to name countries. The country which is at 5th position or the country at 3rd position, how much are they growing? I'm not going to say it, but they're much slower than ours. I mean, without taking names, we are growing at 6.5%, they're growing between 0 and 2%. Now, it stands to reason, and I'm not going by the assessments of the International Energy Agency in Paris, which says in the next 2 decades, in the next 20 years, 25% of the increase in global total demand will come from India. Now, so it's very easy to say that your energy needs will grow much faster than you are currently projecting. So I can say that your need for conventional fuels, you are going into biofuels in a big way. Will it remain at 20%? I don't know. I think it will go up. By how much will it go up? We will now take the stakeholders around. Vilification campaigns will not stop it. CBG will grow up. Natural gas will grow up. The mix of natural gas will grow up. Our E&P will go up. We are now, what, 6 to 8% of our sedimentary basin, we are around 8% or so. We will take it to 15%. We've opened up 1 million square kilometers of no-go area for prospecting. I see the energy scenario in India. By the way, I think our energy sector produces what, 19 to 20% of our overall government's, the revenues you take. I mean, you produce, the companies make money, the shareholders make money. It's all private sector. Some of it is OMCs, public sector. Government gets tax out of it, and the consumer benefits. Where else in the world are you seeing this transformation?
And you said you've served in Brazil, and Brazil has this flex fuel future. Do you see,
I see the models coming here. I mean, if you are asking me, when will E85 models come? I said, once the manufacturers have confidence that the ecosystem being put in place, and the ecosystem is, it cuts across the country. Because if I want to reverse the biofuels policy tomorrow, I will not be able to. Because now there are interests. There are people who have set up. How much is the capacity for biofuels? I think 17 crore litre. 1700 crore litres is our capacity. And we are only at about 1100 crore litres plus. So people have taken money from banks. They have set up units. Those units will produce, and as we go along, there will be diversification. There are people looking at other things. Refining capacity is going up. So all over the energy sector per se, and out of which the biofuel story is a particularly noteworthy one.
and biofuels should not be confused with just ethanol alone, as you.
No, not at all. It's bigger than that.
It's CBG, it is SAF, it is that.
Why do you think I brought those things in? Exactly, because I didn't want to think that. And by the way, sometimes I have this debate with my friends from Europe, and I see a lot of you sitting here. A lot of people think that biofuels in their full range and diversity can be produced anywhere in the world. I don't think so. You need biomass. You need countries like India, which have agriculture. You need countries like Brazil, maybe China, maybe the United States, but not everywhere. You're not going to be able to produce these if you have extreme weather conditions which don't permit this kind of biomass. I'm giving you a layman, undergraduate student's knowledge of it. So it's very clear that when we discuss of sustainable aviation fuel, why will sustainable aviation fuel take over? Somebody was trolling me today. You've said, you know, you put out this tweet from flying to frying or frying to flying, you know, because of this used cooking oil. What was happening earlier? People were taking the used cooking oil and exporting it. Why? Because there was no use for it. Now we have a refinery which can use it. So the question is, will the people who are aggregating that used cooking oil, will they still like to export it? No, if you give them a remunerative price, they would rather sell it to your refinery and that can be used. When will sustainable aviation fuel take off? Again, these are several concentric circles. But I think if the European Union decides to mandate, let's say, a certain percentage of sustainable aviation fuel, it will take off. By the way, we ran a flight. Ran means we operated. We means when I was civil aviation minister, an Air Asia flight, I think, operated from Pune to Delhi using 1% sustainable aviation mix. And I remember in a press conference after that, somebody asked, when are you going to do it? Well, I said, on my own. I said, by the year we'll reach 2027, we'll do 3%, then we'll do 5%. I don't remember, 2, 3, 5. I did it. Somebody asked me, when was that decision taken? I said, I just announced it. You see, you have to create a narrative. If you have sustainable aviation fuel, I used to worry how it is, what the Panipat refinery, if it can make it from used cooking oil. There are other people who will make it from other things. I went in touch with many of the domestic biofuels producers in different parts of the country, and they assure me they can do it. So I think we are on the road to that. Today, biofuels is more than just ethanol, but ethanol is a very big story. Ethanol is a very successful story, and there is no problem with the engine. The German, Japanese, all of them will tell you they're running the same engine there. There's been no case of engine failure. So anybody who's trying this BS approach to vilification is not going to work.
Thank you, sir. But just one more thing over here. India has always been a net energy importer. Do you?
The idea is to, we are also exporters, by the way. Net, yes. You know, I mean, it's very interesting. We have a refining capacity today at about 260, 270 million metric tons per annum. We have arrangements in place for what, 320. But will you take it up to 400? We'll take it up to 450. People say, but you know, the use of fossil fuels will decline by then. There's a famous economist, I think in Shell, who made the mistake of writing in 1976 that the oil will peak by 2000. And a lot of people made a lot of mistakes and lost a lot of money with this kind of a prediction. If you were to ask any amateur economist, no matter where he or she is working, when will oil peak, they will say, I don't know. Maybe not by 2040, certainly not by 2030, probably not by 2040. Look, all this is going to be around. What we are doing is, we are also exporting in a big way. We have a refinery in a SEZ. They import crude oil from outside, export it. I have nothing to do with that. You understand? But our own companies, they are both importers and exporters. India, in the coming years, I think, when the global scenario rationalizes, India will be one of the 3 or 4 big hubs. And our own utilization of fuel will be very high. I see biofuel continuing to play a very big story. And when you talk about CNG, etc., look at where it's being used. It's one of the major transport providers. You know, 70% of our vehicular traffic on the roads is what, 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers? They are on CNG or replaceable batteries.
And you're also going to see innovation, obviously. As
100%. There's a whole ecosystem of startups, etc. Much of what is happening there is a local innovation.
As you said, seaweed as well. You got
No, seaweed is ours. You see, what happened is, many years ago, there was somebody who was dealing with seaweed, but somebody said, ki yahan pe laws nahi dena, and it suddenly shifted to a country in the ASEAN region. Till I was having a conversation, we located him, came back. Now HPCL has a pilot plant. Now one of the lieutenant governors in an offshore union territory is in touch with me. Now people are vying. So there is a lot of activity taking place on all these fronts.
And of course, energy security also becomes very important over
Totally.
here. And biofuels obviously
More so now.
more so now. And we've stood up for our own energy security. We're not given to bullies. But biofuels obviously play a key role in ensuring our energy security going forward, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I won't take much of your time. I know the media is also...
No, I enjoyed talking to you, Kushan, not only because you remind me so much of my friend Chandan at Sotra, but you know, you have the same driving spirit, so more strength to your elbow. All I can say is that I enjoyed this discussion on biofuels. Insofar as the media waiting to talk to me, it will have to be on biofuels, guys, today.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri ji. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate your help with